Yes. Welcome to the Cinema Draft Podcast. I am your host, the creator and founder of the Cinema Draft game, Eduardo Jackson. Cinema Draft is where daily fantasy sports meets the movies. Instead of drafting athletes from teams, you're drafting actors from movies, and how their movies perform at the North American box office earns you points towards your call sheet, or you're competing against other people for cash and prizes. We will get into more of that later. It is my extreme pleasure to introduce our very first two guests on the Cinema Draft Podcast. We're making history, y'all. Some of them want to be seen, some of them want to not be seen. I'll let them introduce themselves. I am joined by the working black writer, TM, in Hollywood, Kevin Garnett, and GNice, writer, educator extraordinaire. Say hello to the people, y'all.
What's going on, people? How you doing?
That's Kevin Garnett, everyone. Kevin Garnett saying hello. Say something to the people, GNice.
Say go chocolate. I want the clap. Give me the clap.
Now wait a minute. Are we supposed to refer to you as GNice throughout all this?
Wait a minute. That's how my mother talks to me. What are you talking about? You already know. You don't know that.
He's got a real job. He ain't trying to be put out there like
fine.
that.
GNice in quotes.
I'm actually going to turn yours up a little, GNice, so we can hear you properly. All right, there we go. Yes, we're fancy up in this piece. We got like control boards and shit. No drinking game this week for all y'all who've been following the podcast, probably because we are without the normal co-host, Peter Vogt, the lead designer on Cinema Draft. That's because he got a case of the white flu, and it's a little bit too hot topic tonight, which we'll get into later.
Wow.
But as we want to do around here, I want to talk about what I'm watching, and we will also check in with Kevin and GNice in a minute. But my goodness, this isn't even on the rundown. I apologize, bros. I apologize, but I just got done watching the craziest episode of Atlanta. Jesus, Mary, Joseph.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Are there spoiler alerts? Do you want me to put? I'll go away and come back.
Dude, Greg, you're not even gonna watch it for like 3 months. I mean, it doesn't matter. Have you watched Atlanta? That is Negro, whatever.
I watched the first part.
Tonight's episode of Atlanta.
What? I'm going to watch it as soon as we're done with this.
Oh man!
I can take my headphones off, and then you can wave at the screen when you.
No, it's okay because
No.
G's not going to see it. You haven't seen it yet. I won't spoil it, but let me just say, every week that show raises the stakes, changes the game, and this one is lit as fuck. Make sure you watch the commercials too, because it's that type of show this week.
That's what I heard. His director tweeted out that don't fast forward through the commercials this week. So
yeah.
Do you think I've seen the pilot. Do you think they shoot that? What did they shoot that in?
America.
It's in Atlanta.
Look at that. Boom. Look, Kevin just brought the funny. You see what just happened? I set him up with like a regular question. He said, in America. Boom.
Atlanta GA. Hashtag laugh track.
I want to be able to press the laugh track.
You can't. You got to bring your own special effects.
Come prepared next time. Read a rundown. Come with some sound effects. Do a dance.
Wait,
what is your
Turn on the camera.
What is your question?
You don't think I've seen the pilot, right? So you don't think
GNice
in the pilot? You better start practicing. No, act like you say okay. It's grainy. No, it's shot that way on purpose.
It's probably digital. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on purpose.
It's real. It's real life.
Like on purpose, like lack of budget on purpose, like we made it grainy to be stylish.
I think both, because I think it's similar to like Louis in that, like with some of these FX shows, they don't.
Oh sweet lord! I stopped listening after you said Louis. Everything Louis is the like when it's like everything got cloudy after that. It was like static came in.
I didn't say anything after that.
So this should be posted under his name. You should write this in here. And underneath he says. His top 5 should be like Louis.
I enjoy Louis.
You enjoy
Louis more than
a brother with a sophisticated palate.
The point
is that sophisticated? That show is not sophisticated. He's funny. That's not sophisticated.
You don't like the show? Is that what you're saying?
I've never seen
Louis. I'm indifferent about the show.
Really? I do like Better Things, which is executive produced by him and Pamela Adlon. That's been pretty interesting.
Right.
And that's also one of those shows where it knows what it is, and yet the audience doesn't really know what it is. Like you don't know.
All right. So when I saw the rundown, when I saw the one sheet for Better Things,
Yeah.
in my mind, I thought this is going to be a really fun show about a cute girl who drinks too much and falls over on her bed.
And now it's like a dramedy, and you're like, God damn it, it's serious.
It's not. She's got a bunch of kids. She's not young. It's not as cute as I thought she'd be, and it ruined the whole thing.
Well, just go watch Better. What is this show? You're the Worst. I think you're looking for.
Oh, that's my show. That is my jam. I love.
Wait, is that the British
I
dude?
love Fat Lindsay, or actually it's Lindsay now.
The
I
British
love Lindsay.
dude, and then the other. Yeah.
So I don't understand this show either.
You would
There's-
like
these
You're
are
the
these
Worst because it's an
No, I
unromantic romantic comedy. Yes, you will. I promise you will.
No, I don't.
These are like truly
my-
kind of detestable people, but you kind of love them because they're real.
No, Lana Lang watches it, and I've seen a couple episodes, and I don't understand this
Lana
whole
Lang's
thing about.
wife, people listening at home, that's GNice's wife, Lana Lang. Yes, she's.
Thought her
I
name-
don't understand. You thought her name was what? Said the
Nothing. I
man
don't
with the
wanna give
lion
away
in the
your-
background.
Your true identity.
My alter ego.
I don't want.
That's right. That's right.
Somebody's
I
gonna
must
piece this
save
together and
people.
out you. Someone's gonna piece all this together and totally out your ass.
Exactly.
No, they're not.
Trying not to use her other names.
Well, Lana Lang
so-
watched it. I don't understand. No, but I don't understand the idea. Who says casting goes? You know what will make a really cool show? Obnoxious dudes. It's that show, and then the show Mixology. That dude.
That guy
He
can't.
was British.
It's not on the air anymore, dog. That's
Yeah,
gone.
that means like 13.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Why would someone say, yeah, that's cool? You know what the American culture needs? British dudes.
That's one thing we definitely that and Aussie guys, Aussie people. Period. Like,
Well,
we're
I mean,
good.
they're hiring all these black actors to play Americans, all these British blacks to play Americans. That's like
That's correct.
That is true. David Harwood.
That's correct. You either have to be British, you have to be British, or have a mixtape. One or the other. You can't actually be an actor.
Well, that's why we celebrate things like Atlanta, because Donald Glover's neither of those things. He's from the A, damn it, my favorite city. He's getting it done, and this is that rare show, that very rare show that connects with black people in a very authentic way that somehow has crossed over and brought white people along with it. Like he's taking no
Is it
shortcuts.
doing well?
He's like
it's doing great.
It's definitely like the front runner for Emmys next year, straight up, because everyone loves this fucking show, as well they should. But I always find it fascinating when we create something that's authentic to us and somehow other people get it. It kind of blows my mind. So
It's been happening in music. You know, it's what happens in music all the time. So now we're finally getting a chance to actually do it in TV shows and cinema and stuff, and you know.
Play that knowledge.
Did you,
WBW.
wait. You should also put under the banner how many degrees he has. You should have to put that on this.
Now I'm intrigued. How many degrees do you have, Kevin Garnett?
I have a mere 3 degrees. That's it.
Hey, welcome to the 3 Degree Club. Where's my sound effect? Damn it! You know,
Wait,
one for each degree.
what?
Yes. Very nice.
So we got like a combined 8 degrees up in this piece. That's what's up.
Wait, what kind of math are you doing? I've got 1.
All right, fine, 7, whatever. All right, we got some educated brothers here. All y'all who are ready for some nonsense this week, sorry, that's me next week. We got some educated black people on the program today, and I'm trying to keep it moving so we don't get in these cul-de-sacs of pure entertainment.
Austin, this is what we're going to do the whole time.
Back to your original question, GNice. I think it looks like that because FX only gives them like a certain amount of money, and you know they got to shoot quick. It seems like a show that's very fluid in the way that it's shot.
But the beauty of that is that they leave them alone, though.
Yeah, exactly. Because supposedly, one little more thing in the cul-de-sac here. Supposedly with Louis, hashtag Louis, he would just send. They gave him like such little money. He would just send them 2 DVDs with every thing. It would be like a DVD of the show and then a DVD explaining why he did what he did, and that's it. And they were just give him the money and leave him alone. Allegedly.
So when he said these 2 CDs, was FX like, "Thank you, Louis, you asshole"?
No, they were like, "Thank you for the Emmy nominations and the brilliant writing and directing."
And the prestige and having people want to work with it again.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, so that was what I'm watching a little bit. I only threw it in there because it was honestly, it's like every week it seems like there's a best episode of that freaking show. And also, just real quick, almost like the LA female version or kissing cousin of it, I would say, is Insecure. That shit brought the heat last week, or I saw like a preview last week, and I've been raving about it because I know chicks like that. We all know chicks like that. Issa Rae and Insecure. That shit's hilarious as hell. So that's part of what I'm watching. But I want to talk a little bit about Girl on the Train. I saw it this weekend.
Wait! I want to respond. Wait!
You want to respond? You're like Dan Levitar.
Get in there, man. Get in there.
All right, so here's what I don't understand. First of all, I've only seen two. My Atlanta comments. Two things. One, I like it very much.
Okay.
Like I've only seen the first two, right? So I haven't gotten that far, but
it gets better.
Paperboy.
Paperboy.
He's all about that.
He's awesome.
Paperboy.
He's the best part of that. He's awesome. I will say I don't like
the guy Keith Stansfield who plays Darius is low key hilarious.
He's
like
very funny.
I've watched most of the episodes twice, and like the second time around, you really get a lot of the stuff that he's doing.
Very funny. He reminds me of. He also looks like Dab on the Dude.
And he also played Snoop in Straight
Outta Compton, and he's in Snowden, and he got to start on Short Term 12 with Brie Larson.
I keep hearing about this movie, Short Term 12. I got to check it out.
It was good. It was legit.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see him as like a comedian per se, but he's an actor. He's good.
The three of them, well, of the two of them have awesome timing.
Yes.
We all agree at the same time. So,
yes.
Podcast. What else you got?
The only thing I don't like is her.
Wait till you see like episode 5 or whatever. Last week's episode.
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna love the girl. He's started to do like more character centric episodes, so you're gonna love what she brings. She's hilarious.
Her timing is not my favorite, but maybe by episode 5 she'll be awesome. Did he just leave?
No, I'm still here. This is wireless. I had to turn the AC on. Damn it!
Podcast
it's like 100 degrees in the
and out. She's the worst. Boom.
These are wireless, Dan. These are wireless.
Okay, all right. High school football rules.
I felt you had more to say, Greg. I wanted to give you some room to.
Wait. Okay, so that's what I think about Atlanta. What was the other thing you said? Oh, Insecure. I haven't seen it. I saw a bunch of the what's the other one?
The trailers don't give it justice. I'm telling you, the trailers don't do it justice.
The one she had like it was like her own stuff.
Awkward Black Girl.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of those. She's funny.
Did you see the one she did? Like, what was it, the history one or something? Something about how she's like rapping history or something. That was really good. She's just really talented. Period.
She's got several different web series.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate Cardinal. Chocolate Cardinal.
Chocolate Cardinal. Are you Stanford too?
That's right. It's a whole thing going on.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Man, I would apologize for the beatdown my Huskies put on y'all, but I won't because we're top 5 ranked. So
yeah, that was terrible. It's fine. we won't even get into the college football arguments.
Yeah, let's have
a big game this weekend.
Go Irish.
GNice obviously is from Chicago and loves him some Notre Dame, which I never understood because Notre Dame's nowhere near Chicago, but it's a thing.
It's not nowhere near. It's 2 hours away.
It's 2.5 hours away. It's not close.
Neither. What's closer?
That's like me from being from Seattle claiming Portland, which I would never do. But it's like, I mean, what are we doing here? What are we talking about?
I mean, there's a bunch of other schools between there. This is just the closest one, man. It's Chicago. That makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Go Irish.
No, DePaul makes sense if they had a football team. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so the girl on the train, god dang it. All right. Yeah, just real quick. I mean, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this because we're already getting lost on some really
we're totally getting lost. I'm just waiting for something.
No. This will be our longest podcast yet. This will definitely, by default, be our blackest podcast yet. Hang with us, everybody. You're going to enjoy the ride, I promise.
I will derail this whole thing.
but the girl on the train, it starred, as I put in my review, and you can see all my reviews, the reincarnation of the real deal. He's back, but in shortened form, over at medium.com/@cinemadraft. And basically, I gave it 4 reels because it stars Emily Blunt, a.k.a. Messy Bay, because she is a hot, drunken mess in this movie, and I am so there for it. This movie, all right, so maybe I don't get out enough. Maybe I'm not, big on the psychological thriller genre. I don't know. But it really, I mean, not only to keep my attention, and there's some stuff that's kind of predictable, what have you, but she was such a fucking mess that you didn't know whether to hate her, to love her, to just pity her? Is she crazy? Is everyone around her gaslighting her, making her feel like she is crazy? I mean, you had no idea what her deal was, but it totally keeps your attention the entire time. And I had no idea the dude who directed The Help could deliver such a strong psychological thriller. Yeah,
hey, you can't see me, but I'm raising my hand. I have a question.
Go ahead.
You need
Turn the camera, bitch.
You need to animate your avatar.
Here's my question. Here's what I don't understand. And this is gonna sound like hate, but it's not. This is just
that's your default setting. We know.
Yeah, no. I'm just kidding. Where? How? At what point did Emily Blunt? I feel bad. I'm not the biggest fan, and how come?
What have you seen of her? What have you seen of her?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, can you tell me a movie you were like, she killed it?
First of all, she made her big splash stateside in Devil Wears Prada. Everyone remembers her from Devil Wears Prada because she was fucking awesome in that.
No. She was not the lead. That's why you liked her. No, she was solid.
You can still kill as a side character.
That's correct. Fair enough. But then she becomes the lead, and then it's like, I'm not. I don't know.
Did you see Edge of Tomorrow or Live, Die, Repeat or whatever the hell?
Yeah, that was fucking Tom Cruise.
But what do you? So what point are you trying to prove here? That she can shine alongside other stars?
No. I'm trying to feel like she's fine. That sounds more hate.
That sounded
a little bit hate. I don't mean that. I'm
going to IMDb. Damn it, this is pissing me off. I love it.
I never get excited. I'm not like, oh, sweet, she's in it.
Well, there haven't been a whole lot of vehicles built around her. Let's be real. But Sicario, yo, Kevin, you saw Sicario, right?
I saw Sicario. I thought it was very good. Her character was super passive, though. Like when you actually analyze the movie, she was fine in it, but it was very much like she is our guide through this world.
Oh wait, that's the one.
That's why I was okay with it because I felt as shell shocked as she was seeing all this
crazy
drug shit. So
she was like a DA lady. I saw it.
I enjoyed the ride. It was a very fun, enjoyable ride. But as you analyze it and break it down, this is where it got problematic for me. But great watch.
Wait a minute! I just realized what happened here. I realized you guys are just gonna say that's awesome, and then I'm gonna be like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Hey, know your role. Stay in your lane.
Wait, is that what it said in the rundown? Did I miss that part? You guys are gonna be like,
yes.
The greatest thing ever. Everything is good. Everything in the world is beautiful. It's all really shiny. And then I'm gonna be like, wait, no, that's dirty.
Everyone's got purpose in this world.
You're what's his name? You're Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quietly wearing a muscle tee in the back.
Yeah, I can't tell if I'm offended or not.
Yeah.
5-Year Engagement. She was good in that.
No, she wasn't. She's fine. But you're not like excited. You're not like
The Adjustment Bureau. With Matt Damon.
I don't think I saw that.
It was just weird. Yeah, you did. They're wearing like hats. They walk around wearing hats and like trench coats.
No.
This is a fruitless endeavor.
Wait, that's really what the movie's about. The movie's about a bunch of people wearing trench coats.
Okay.
so I'm gonna take this opportunity, as per the rundown, to ask you knuckleheads. All right, let's start with GNice. No, I want to hear this. I'm very intrigued now.
GNice,
since he hates on everything. No, and actually,
that's not true. Wait a minute.
This is okay, Kevin. I've called him GNice forever. I'm actually okay with GNice.
Kevin's okay with this. He's pretending.
I'm fine with it. I don't want to slip up and say, his government name.
My government. We'll just say it. Get paid. So wait, I forgot what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, so I'm asking, what are you guys watching? And so while you're trying to collect your thoughts, if not your sanity, GNice, let's go with Kevin. What are you watching that's stirring your vessel? That's my
besides stirring my vessel.
Sounds very, very dirty, unnecessarily.
Right. Besides, of course, Atlanta, there's a couple of things on Netflix that I'm watching.
Oh, I know.
Luke Cage. Just step on what I'm about to say.
I'm sorry, I got excited.
No, it was the other guy.
Louis season 2.
Luke Cage I think is great. I'm like probably 8 or 9 episodes in, enjoying the ride. I was never a comic book guy coming through, but again, Chocolate Cardinal.
Honestly, me neither. And this is Greg. GNice enjoying the hell out of this. Shut up. GNice enjoyed the hell out of this because when we were writing partners, he was always in his comic books and stuff, and all about those comic book stories. I used to make fun of him, and now I'm like carrying the flag of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm sure you're enjoying.
Yeah, you guys all realize the universe has nothing to do with the comic books.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like that's you don't need to know you don't need the research to watch it.
Nerd.
Nerd.
Where's the? I wish I had that sound effect.
Coolest motherfucking nerd you ever met.
There it is.
What is that like a? What was that? Like a spaceship?
You just got gonged, bitch. All right, what else are you watching, Kevin?
I'm also watching. To keep this short, I just watched 13th last night. The Ava DuVernay documentary. It's definitely worth seeing. I never read what is it?
Documentaries.
Documentaries. I never read that the new Jim Crow mass incarceration book, but
transitioning.
I'm just talking about something I saw. The woman who wrote that is on there, as well as Cory Booker, Chocolate Cardinal, and several other.
They're everywhere.
Several other people talking about it. It's really good. And if you think that you know a lot about the mass incarceration epidemic coming from slavery until now, they put a whole other. For me, put a whole other lens on it, and I think it's definitely worth checking out.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about checking it out tonight while I work after we do the podcast. But fun fact, for for people who are new to us, we have a light history of Ava DuVernay. We're very proud of her. Watching her, I remember seeing her very first documentary and stuff, an ode to hip hop and everything. And it's just really great to see what she's done with her success and her fame. And this has become a bit of a cottage industry for her with the tackling mass incarceration. And it's good to see someone who's very much in the zeitgeist right now. She's filming like this $100 million adaptation of A Wrinkle in Time. That'll be interesting. And Ava, if you're listening or watching, which probably won't be for a while, come on the pod. Holla at your boy, the real deal. Let's get you on here. All right, go ahead, GNice. What you got?
Real quick, I think every single time he says Chocolate Cardinal, you should put a little dash in the corner of the top of the screen. And then if he forgets, you should take it away.
Well, you know what? We've got a drinking game now. Every time he goes Chocolate Cardinal, everyone at home have a drink. All right. We're not playing the lit game this week. Peter's off. We're playing the Chocolate Cardinal game.
That's
have a
right.
drink.
Sheo Hidari,
like 5.
Yeah, Sheo Hidari Coker was the creator of Luke Cage. Chocolate Cardinal. Go ahead.
I knew it was coming. I knew it.
Go ahead, GNice. Give us some.
I'm going to say Fighting Scott every time McAllister person.
Okay.
More breadcrumbs.
So are we talking about Deepwater Horizon then? Because otherwise we're shit out of luck.
No, we're talking about.
Whoa. Wow.
That is totally unfair. You have all the gadgets.
I
do. Audience participation.
Okay, so what are you watching, GNice? If besides your kids,
and
your life slipped away from your.
What have I seen?
A day by day.
I saw the first 2 episodes of Atlanta.
Okay, cover that.
Wow.
Kevin, you have a standing invite to co-host anytime.
Thank
podcast,
you.
All right.
Are you kidding me? You need me to say no. What else have I watched? Nothing. That's it. I can't think of
okay, well, then that brings me on to the last thing that I'm watching, which is, or what I watched. I did go out last Thursday night in the city of Las Vegas, 10:30, to go see a showing of The Birth of a Nation. And I was one of 3 people there. And it was... Well, I mean, it's a good movie. I'm glad to see that part of history, recorded. And I wouldn't say documented because there's been a lot of controversy as far as like what was historically accurate and what wasn't. I could honestly care less. I just love the fact that we have like a slave revolt thing up on screen that got a fairly wide release, like 2,100 screens, and that it's getting some critical acclaim despite the controversy. Now, speaking of the controversy, the whole Nate Parker rape thing, which is, yes, he was acquitted. I'm definitely not, taking up for him at all, and he has not done himself any favors with the press and especially black women in addressing it. But I do find it, it's not a coincidence that something that was decided 20 years ago all of a sudden comes up to help tamp down, such a strong movie that normally would have like Oscar bait all over it. It's almost as if Hollywood can't stand seeing a black man, not a black man as Nate Parker, but a black man as a Nat Turner or that type of story, not end up, as or not be part of the traditional slave narrative of suffer, 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 and just kind of take it and survive. It's this bullshit. So,
and also without because I didn't see it, but
have you seen Birth of a Nation?
I have not seen it yet. I will see it despite the controversy, which we can get into or not.
Let's do it.
But I'm assuming there's no white savior in this, as opposed to a lot of other slave narrative sort of movies.
So do you think if there's a white savior, they probably wouldn't have done the smear campaign? Because there is no white savior. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's they're not all evil per se, but it's not like they've gone out of their ways in like most slave movies to paint them out like they're good either. It's just if anything, it's probably one of the more accurate portrayals of white slave people from crib to the grave that you'll probably see.
Mm-hmm. Now what did you like in your real system? Have you reviewed it yet for the site?
I did. That review also can be found at medium.com/@cinemadraft, and I will go hunt it down for you in chat. Look, I'm always promoting. Ain't shit changed, GNice. Ain't shit changed.
Wait, I just remembered. I watched The Night Before. Just put it out there.
Oh, The Night Of.
Do you like
The Night Of.
You watched the prequel and the actual show.
I watched them at the same time. It was 2 movies at the same time.
The prequel.
I thought it was actually really interesting.
Uh-huh.
I thought John Turturro was a fucking stud.
Oh, he's the god. He's great. He's awesome.
I thought he was awesome. I thought the kid was really good. Apparently, he's a rapper.
Riz Ahmed?
Yeah, apparently he's a.
Really?
He apparently is. I thought it was good. I thought Kevin didn't see it. Right?
I didn't see it.
Legit. I remember him from Nightcrawler. He was the driver in Nightcrawler, and that's he made me perk up when I saw that. That was. And then see him. He's also going to be in like the Star Wars prequel movies too. So yeah, it's he's doing.
Who was a rapper?
Riz Ahmed, the Iranian dude or whatever, the Pakistani dude.
He was good. It was good. It was good. It was nicely done. It was smart. It was thoughtful. I thought the guy. The twist was interesting. I mean, but it was good. I don't want to.
Williams, of course, and they're doing work.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, but yes, he's always doing work. Look. No, he will never.
Shady wind coming on.
No, it's not even shady wind. I just feel like he was so awesome as Omar that it's hard to do anything else. And I feel like when he gets when he gets characters that are not like when he was a cop, you're like, right? But when he's doing like a convict, you're like, oh, he's good at this.
Oh,
he's good, but he's always good. He was great as Omar, so I feel like everything else is kind of like. All right.
He's got a show on Vice, on the Vice channel.
I caught an episode of that. That's where I caught the one where they're tracking stolen cars around the world or something.
Yeah, and it's called Black Market, and he just goes to black markets about illegal guns, illegal cars. There's one about.
Has he done Bitcoin yet? I know he's going to do Bitcoin.
I haven't seen a Bitcoin one yet, but
wait, he's like the host of it, or something?
He's like the host, and he goes like sort of like a not undercover, but he's embedded with these criminals, and they take him around to their different criminal activities.
Now, do you actually think he wants to do that? I mean, I know he wants the paycheck, but do you think he's like, yo, this is exciting?
Actually, kind of. It sounds like, is he from like New Jersey or New York or something? And I'm not saying like, it sounds like he kind of grew up around characters like that. Like this show might have been his idea, actually.
Yeah, because he did like one of the episodes, maybe the one that you saw, Ed, is
the first one, yeah,
the New Jersey Drive one, essentially tracking that whole culture. So,
yeah, he goes off Senegal and stuff. Yeah, it's just crazy, but he's solid. I like him.
Kevin, are you gonna watch it?
Go ahead and talk about it.
I want to say, Ed, you've seen it. So I would just say I thought the storyline of him, of the kid, and the night and the trial was really interesting.
Yes,
I thought the stuff inside the jail was, I don't know. It was fine. It was just kind of like I felt like that kind of got in the way of the more interesting part.
Yeah, like it was pretty good. I mean, it was fine. Like I was more interested about like the trial stuff and the pretty lawyer until she just lost her goddamn mind the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, but that didn't that sort of feel forced when you're like, wait, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know how many podcasts to listen to. I highly recommend the one on Bill Simmons' Ringer Network with Chris Ryan and Andy Greenwald. Shouts to y'all if you ever discover this podcast, which you won't. But they had some really smart takes on the night of, because they tracked in real time. They were real big fans of it. But pretty much anyone with a brain had an issue with like the way her turn happened the last 2 or 3 episodes. Like it's I mean, you can kind of understand it, but it's like they didn't need it.
No,
you get what I'm saying? Like that show did not need her getting stupid like that. So.
I read something that said John Turturro, that was supposed to be the
Gandolfini
character, but I heard when he took over, he said something like, he was the one who added all the foot stuff and like all his
Oh
business.
God, are you serious? Oh
yeah. But that stuff was hilarious. It was so like ridiculous but interesting. He ate up every scene. He was just awesome.
That's Emmy bait for sure.
He reminded me of, I can't say your name on this podcast, can I? Oh well.
Who?
What?
He reminded me of Siemens.
You're just dropping breadcrumbs to your true identity.
You know what? Like
every comment.
That's fine. You protect your identity because 6 months from now, when
protect my identity.
People are blows up. Everyone's gonna go back to these podcasts and be like, "Oh, that's GNice so and so." That's and so it's fine. Go ahead and protect the innocent. It's
anyway. I thought that show was very good. That's the only thing I actually watched. I watched a couple episodes of season 2, Mr. Robot.
Oh yeah.
But it was season 1. No, season 1 was excellent. Season 2
really
is not my favorite.
You didn't like Mr. Robot, Kevin, or you haven't seen it?
I only saw the pilot. I thought it was very preachy, and there's too many other things to watch.
Preachy, like bad robot, bad computer.
Preachy, just like him giving these long ass speeches to the camera and like long voiceover.
He ditches those. I mean, you do get like his stream of consciousness, but he's the ultimate unreliable narrator, and you really should give it a chance. You really should watch it. The first season was good. Mm-hmm. I thought the first 6 episodes was awesome, and it was still like it was almost like a techno take on Dexter. Like he uses the computer to do good in the world. Oh, okay.
He's like this sort of like superhero vigilante with a computer. And then they started doing the bigger story, and I was like, eh.
But isn't Christian Slater in that?
Yeah.
Can we talk about him for a second? How come people hate on Christian Slater? Christian Slater is awesome. It's really good. See what you just did? It's really good. Christian Slater is great.
Why are you writing up for your boy? Did you go to McAllister or something?
No. Wait, no.
2016, not 1987.
Oh, but he's consistent. First of all, True Romance, great movie. Great movie. Shout out to True Romance. Great movie. Pump Up Value, great movie. He was the brother in Legend of Billie Jean.
America loves a comeback story. He has completed his comeback arc with Mr. Robot. He's getting the Emmy love. He's good. He's fine. It's the show is really well run, well structured. Sam Esmail, writer director guy, took over the entire second season, I guess. So it's all him now shooting everything. So it's what you want.
I don't love the second season. First season's okay. Christian Slater is fine in it. He's good. You wouldn't be like, oh my god, he's back. He's good. He's solid. But he's got an Emmy for it. He got an Emmy nod for it.
I think so. I think the whole cast got something, or most of the cast. Or if not, I mean, his buzz is back. Is basically what I'm saying. It's it's good to have him back. I'm fine with that.
He's cool. He's got the creepy voice. He's always like interesting, sort of charismatic guy.
Yeah. All right, well, this kind of ruined my segue. My segue really was a spin-off of Birth of a Nation into our topic of the week. Yes, we finally made it some way, somehow. There's still time to ruin this topic. We may not spend time on this topic, but basically just to give people at home and also our new guests here on the program this evening, the rundown of how it works is that every week we have a topic, a movie-based topic, of which we draft from a certain set of movies. Last week, I believe it was buddy cop comedies. This week, we are going to draft our 3, and we're only going to do 3. Usually we do 5.
48 hours.
This was last week. You're late, G. We're going to draft our 3 least depressing slave movies in honor of the Birth of a Nation. And the way it goes is that we alternate picks. one goes in, one goes, and I guess in this case another one goes. And once someone picks a movie, that movie is out of play. So maybe you're not even drafting in the order of your importance to you, but maybe you're just doing it out of game theory, trying to block a popular choice that someone else is going to use, etc., etc. So keep that in mind as you prepare your 3 least depressing slave movies, because we aren't here for the white savior bullshit. We ain't here for the we're just going to start for take it bullshit.
Wait,
We're
okay,
here
so
to uplift and entertain. Go ahead, Greg.
Uplift with slave movies. Wait, so what are the rules of the definition of a slave movie?
Movie involving slaves.
Yes, in some aspect, form, or whatever. If you want to go biblical with it and go like that dumbass Moses movie, Godspeed. I'm gonna probably do something a little more traditional in general. And keep it about the Africans, but whatever. I mean,
what movie are you talking about?
I just did a Google. I see Gladiator on here. Technically, that's a slave movie.
That's what I'm about to say.
Spartacus, technically those are slave movies. Just to give you guys some ideas. So, but just to give you guys an idea of how it works, and just to be a dick, I'm gonna go first.
Wait, you're gonna pick the best one? Wait a minute, hold on.
I'm gonna go first, and then we're gonna go in. Then we're gonna go in order of attendance. That means you go last, GNice. So,
I'm still okay. All right,
and then it's gonna cycle up again. All right. So the one I'm taking off the board.
So we're gonna pick 9. So we're gonna pick 9 movies in total.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Math skills #backwards.
Okay, so the one I'm taking off the board, it's fairly obvious. I'm just gonna take it, is Django Unchained. Now, everyone's got a problem with Tarantino. I've got problems with Tarantino at times. This movie, just because he loved to say the word nigga way too many times, I got a problem with it. But as far as least depressing, I laughed my goddamn ass off. Mom, yes, you were there. We were there. It was our Christmas movie 2 or 3 years ago. We always see a movie on Christmas. Kind of weird movie to see.
This is your Christmas
2012.
Like you watched it with the Christmas tree in the background?
No, yeah, exactly. No, we went down to the multiplex on Christmas Day in Seattle, Washington. Majority white crowd, probably. And it was so lit. It was so, and it was uncomfortable, and it was crazy, and had totally overlooked Leonardo DiCaprio performance. What makes you a Mandingo expert?
People gave him love off that performance.
But he should have won an Oscar for that. That was incredible.
Wait, really?
I loved it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Why did he not get nominated for that? That was an incredible performance.
Really?
What makes you Leonardo DiCaprio expert?
Leonardo DiCaprio was fine, but you were like, he was the person eating up the scenes.
He did.
Kevin, please.
He was pretty incredible in that movie. Talk about, just a side note about that, talk about white savior. Although Jamie killed a lot of people, I read somewhere the other day that in fact it was the German dude that ended up killing DiCaprio. So Jamie didn't get the full pleasure of killing that guy per se.
That's true.
And it was certainly white savior because the German trained him and all that stuff and helped him infiltrate the South and all that sort of stuff. Great movie though.
God, man, I'm already
I don't understand the rules here. Why? How is it? It is fine. That is a fine movie.
The rules, he just drafted it. It's
out of play.
I'm asking about how is that? You think that's a great movie? It's a good movie. It's a solid movie.
No. We're talking about uplifting slave movies. There's a narrow window here.
No, least depressing slave movie.
That's what he said.
It doesn't have to uplift, just to be least depressing. It was hilarious. I saw it at Christmas with my mom in white ass Seattle. We enjoyed it and laughed our ass off and cringed and all the stuff you're supposed to do with that movie. It had weird unnatural pauses when one too many niggas flew and people in the crowd didn't know how to react. So this movie did what it needed to do. And as far as least depressing slave movies, it was the first one that jumped to my mind. I'm taking off the board. You go, Kevin.
That's not a great movie. That's not a great movie. Let's just say that out loud. Go.
You can say what you will.
The movie should have been level. Okay, go. Sorry, go.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to go with a little bit of a unconventional pick here, and I'm going to go with the new version of Roots that was on TV.
Okay, can we just say
that was good.
That you clearly just checked your notes?
Oh yeah, I have a list.
Yes, my man. Yo,
Like,
Kevin, you are welcome back. As a matter of fact, my birthday's next Tuesday. Do you want to just do a podcast? I don't work on my birthday, so come on, take over the podcast. Straight up. He got notes.
You
My
just
man,
cheated.
that's what I'm
You
talking
cheated.
about.
This is ridiculous.
I
It says
notes.
it says roots.
about?
It says
Welcome
roots.
back
It says
anytime.
Django, and then it says Louis underneath it.
By the way, this is the words of someone who's unprepared, obviously. Now, the new roots.
That is how we live life.
The new roots, as I was saying before I was interrupted, obviously the original was classic and groundbreaking and all that stuff. And I, along with a lot of people, was like, what's the point of doing a new one?
Yes.
You're only going to sort of ruin the history of what we had before. But after watching it, they dug into a lot of different nooks and crannies that the original did not. Talking about joining up with the British at one point, joining up with the North during the Civil War. The different characters sort of branched out, and they had great actors all the way around. I know Greg is getting anxious to make his pick, so I'll just cede the floor to him now. Thank you.
No, I did. I will. I'm going to comment on your pick.
Okay.
I'm going to say that I have not seen it.
No, I haven't seen it either, but I've been told by many a person whose opinion I respect, and people, as well from our community who are like, you need to see this,
Are you breaking up, or is that me?
He was breaking up in my.
Oh, I'm breaking up. Oh, snap. All right. I wonder if my thing's out of power. I'm going to plug this in. It look like it's work. But yeah, so I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I want to go see this.
Mr. Robot. What?
Am I breaking up like that?
Yeah.
Hold on. Hopefully, maybe wonder if that works. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. Sometimes the bandwidth.
Yeah, it's still a little choppy there.
Oh, you know what? Let me just close some windows. Damn it! I literally have 70 windows open. It's just great. Okay. Let's do.
Okay.
Is that better?
Is it my turn?
It is
Yes,
your turn.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is the category. Why are you laughing?
Whoa.
Seemed like you want a drum roll. Like we're building up to something.
Is that Star Wars? The Star Wars? Is that Star Wars drum roll?
No. It's
Do it again. No, you took the sound. Okay, that is not the same drum roll. My pick is my pick. My pick is Glory, and Glory is. I don't know. I don't know how.
Way to play the game.
I don't know how you guys didn't start with that, so that's confusing to me. Because Glory is Glory. Okay, let's Glory.
Go ahead. Go.
Glory is just first of all, cast wise, it's awesome. Yes. You have 4 just kick-ass characters. Denzel is no better than he is in that movie. Morgan Freeman is just ridiculous. What's the fool's name? I don't remember the third guy's name.
Brower.
Andre Brower.
Yeah. No, not him. Andre Brower is also awesome. The other guy. He stutters in the movie. The fourth guy, who's always like, he's the rifle. He's the sharpshooter.
Oh, Jupiter. That guy. We've never seen him after that, have we?
I don't remember him being in anything else.
Yeah,
I don't either. But he was excellent. He was excellent in that movie. And there's so many great scenes in that movie. It's really well done. Matthew Broderick is fine. He's fine in the movie. He's who he's supposed to be. You guys don't realize that he's who he's supposed to be. But that movie it's consistently good. When you rewatch it, it's good. It sort of hits all the right notes. It's a little cheeseball, the story itself, but it's done really, really well. That he always like, all right, that's a solid movie. Mm-hmm. The storylines, the subplots, it's really done well. That's across the board like one of my favorites, but it's also just a really, really good movie. Go.
All right, I agree.
You sound crazy. I can't whip or something.
Well, you have obviously the famous.
Sorry about that, everyone at home. We probably just cut around a little section where I had some technical difficulties. We are back with Kevin Garnett, working black writer, TM in Hollywood, as well as GNice, our educator extraordinaire and my former writing partner. We are talking about the 3 least depressing slave movies. We already have Django Unchained, Glory, and what was yours again, Kevin? That we took
Roots,
and the new Roots taken off the board. And in my absence, they were discussing what constitutes a slave movie. So
but I'll also say this: what the downside of Glory, which is the downside of most of black films / in this case, we're talking about slavery movies, is that it does take place. It's still from the point of view of the white character we have to relate to. But Matthew Broderick in that character, in that movie, for me, is minor. He's huge, right? But you're not. He's in the background. His whole storyline between him and the Princess Bride dude, you don't really care. You don't totally care.
That's sort of the storyline they needed to get the money to
right. But yes, exactly. But what they did nicely was they pushed it to the back.
Yeah, they did.
And those, when you think of the scenes, the great. For example, what's your favorite scene in that movie? We're all going to say the same thing.
No, we're not.
The Denzel tear.
Well, that's all. Yep, Denzel tear is a great scene, but the other one, well,
the campfire scene before.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
See, great. You cannot. I mean, don't trip.
Lord.
How great is that scene? Over and over and over
Great
again.
scene.
Everybody gets a good speech, and Morgan Freeman is at his best, right? So you have these great scenes, and even the Denzel scene with the tear. Good God! I mean, that scene is ridiculously good. It's moving. It's powerful. He kills it.
He won the award off of that tear.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he won the award off of that whole conversation about shoes.
No, they like it when they get whipped.
Yeah, that's probably true. But that movie, but you don't remember the scene with Matthew Broderick cutting the watermelons or him getting into fights with his dad or asking for the guy for some pair of shoes. Like those are sort of secondary. And that's what I think was nice about that movie. That movie's great.
It's a great movie.
That movie's great. I want to go watch it. I'll be back.
All right.
Now, because I go third, do I get to go twice?
Yes.
No. Okay. Well, fine. We'll snake it.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Go.
I don't care.
I'll wait. No, it's fine. Mine are gonna be the best anyway. It doesn't matter. Go.
Okay. So we'll go back to the beginning. We'll go back up to me.
Wait. Do we rate our first round? Because I think I won. Is that how this works?
I think you did not win.
I think I won.
Listeners to this podcast.
Everyone raise their hands if I win.
If you want to rate these by round, please send me an email at podcast.cinemadraft@gmail.com. And please rate our rounds if all 12 of you listening, because GNice must need this external validation. Okay,
yes.
So keeping it moving. My next least depressing slave movie, you know what? We already said it. I'm going to be lame. I'm just going to take it off the board. I'm going Gladiator because there is slavery involved, although of a white variety. But there's a black dude in there. There's I can never say his name right.
Yeah, him. It's not Jumanji.
Yes.
It's not pronounced Jumanji.
Digimon Hunsu or whatever, the dark-skinned brother. He's in there. There's some slavery involved. Yes, we're all here for the white character slavery, whatever.
Slavery.
But
there's some slavery involved. Check.
It's least depressing. I will say that. Are we not entertained? I am very much entertained. So it is one of my 3 least depressing slave movies. Go ahead, pick it apart.
Nothing to pick apart besides the fact that there's no black people, or not really black people, which is fine
because black people own slavery. What?
No, but my point was about to be that slavery is not exclusive to black people. So all well and good.
Yeah, that's right. Slavery is an international epidemic.
Okay. Yes. This premise is absurd, but
which one?
That Gladiator is a great fucking movie.
Yes.
Great movie.
I mean, that's a really, really good movie.
It really is.
I mean, come on now. Dude's name is Maximus. That movie's fantastic. There's scene after scene. If you watch it, it's the kind of movie that stands up. And Russell Crowe is not my favorite, but he's great in this movie.
Yes.
This is Ridley at his best. Was that?
Right,
no.
So Kevin, it's your turn. What do you got on deck?
I mean, again, we're speaking in a very limited window here. I got to sort of take this off the board.
Clearly not. He just said Gladiator.
There's still like 10 slave movies total.
10 least depressing slave movies.
You're absolutely wrong because I actually looked it up, and there's like a variety of them.
Okay. The Legend of Nigger Charlie, you're going to pull out of your ass now?
That movie's excellent.
Have you watched it? You have not. Thank you.
I have not.
I tried to watch it on YouTube this week, and I could not get through it.
You couldn't do it. It's like I put in my review for The Birth of a Nation. Like, I've been saving up my slave hours for this movie. Sorry, Free State of Jones. Can't do it. Save my slave hours for The Birth of a Nation.
I'm going to take off an obvious
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna say.
Amistad.
Huh.
Is that what you thought I was going to say?
That is not. You've actually surprised me. I will say this: the guy who wrote the book adaptation, hashtag McAllister. What?
There it is. You've been waiting on that.
There it
That one in.
So I mean, very little do you really remember about this movie. Your boy Hansen.
No, he kills it. He's got a couple scenes where he kills
give
it.
us, the give us free is
Give us that
Give us free.
the big moment, and that was the uplifting part of it. The rest of it, he's in Boston. Racism was always there, as we see in the historical rendering.
It's changed now. Oh wait, nope.
Oh wait, it hasn't.
Show hasn't.
All right, that's all I got. Go ahead.
The problem with Amistad is there's two things. Amistad's a really good movie, right? The problem with Amistad is anything Steven Spielberg touches is perfect, right? It's perfect. It's so clean. The dialogue is so perfect. It's everything hits the way it's supposed to hit. And I feel like that's a hard way to tell that story, right? Because it's just so clean. I mean, it's a great movie, right? But it's like, even let's give us those three. It's like how much, that was so dramatic and perfect and shot so nicely, and he just killed every...
That's actually a really good point, because that's one thing in Birth of a Nation is that, it has those shots in it, but it's, when you get into the nitty gritty of slavery, it's very unclean. So not clean.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a hard way to tell a story like that in such a clean light. Like it's not. Like you needed it to be cut. You needed it to be bumpy and ugly.
But see, and this is, and actually, this is kind of the reason why I wanted to do this topic, and I totally understand why Peter decided to beg out when he cut the flu. Is because there's so often we have these films which are these prestige films, these 12 Years a Slave, these these Amistads, what have you, and granted, 12 Years a Slave, black director, black writer, all sorts of stuff, but it was ushered through the studio system. A lot of times they do kind of polish it up to make it award centric, but a lot of the conditions to make us awards worthy in a lot of cases, or at least awards worthy where we don't get all these 20-year-old hit pieces dragged out on us at very inopportune times, is that it requires a level of subservience by the slaves, the black men or whatever, and there has to be the white savior. There has to be all these elements which are kind of unnatural to the actual institution of slavery, but we shine it up just so we can get the awards that
no, I don't know that's true. I don't know that is okay. That's what abolition is, right? So they need obviously the books that are written about this in the historical context of slavery, you still need white people to make the changes. You still need white people to pass the laws. You still need William Lloyd Garrison to stand up and start the abolition movement, right? So you have that just drops some now. So now you have. But Matthew McConaughey, the first of many white lawyers to save the day is Matthew McConaughey in this movie. Right. Like he was huge, right? Him, To Kill a Mockingbird. What's the other one? Mississippi. No. What's the other one?
I think all that is valid. You're absolutely right. But what I'm concerned
Lincoln Lawyer
from the writing standpoint
Lincoln
is that
Lawyer, no.
No, that's a fun movie.
It's a good movie. No,
that is not a good movie. Stop that. That is not a good movie.
No, but seriously, I think from the writing standpoint, I think Kevin may agree with me on this, or brought this up earlier, is that when it comes to these type of movies, too often the focus shifts towards the white savior. Like, yes, you need historically you needed the white saviors in it. That was like a real thing. But the thing I like about the Birth of Nations, white people, it's not like they're incidental, but they're not the story, at all.
Of course, but that's because, but correct me if I'm wrong, but who's making these movies, right? Birth of a Nation is black made. Right. So you have a huge difference.
Right, but that's
Steven Spielberg is going to make this movie. He's going to make it with, but the idea is what? It's through the lens of a white person so that other people go, oh yeah, I relate. That makes sense to me. I would do that too.
Right. Well, I think but it's the going back to 12 years quickly, I think the one thing that was great
hold on. Wait. Hold on 1 second. My pick is 12 years. So let's talk about it at the same time.
Okay, that was uplifting for you.
That was least depressing. Are you
least depressing? The thing
would be like,
well, that's absurd. The premise is absurd, but that movie is what it should be. That movie is messy. That movie is uncomfortable. That movie is thoughtful. That movie is beautiful at the end, and that movie is I took that walk with the story, and I was like, all right, this is real.
The one thing, the couple of things that were great about that is that the director just stylistically made you look at the ugliness of slavery.
Right. So that scene where the scene where they
right, where he's hanging up there.
Oh yeah, right. He's hanging. And there's like 20 people, and they slowly walk away. The scene was what, like 4 minutes long?
Yeah, I think it was like 12 minutes long. It was long.
It was long.
It was pretty long.
It was not 12 minutes, but yes, it was long.
We can research.
But it was like uncomfortably long. I'm looking it up. They
17 minutes.
But it was like, yeah, you saw some of the reality. I mean, there's a lot of things about that movie I still didn't like.
They had the white savior. They had
the white savior. I hated the Brad Pitt character. I was so annoyed that Brad Pitt took that character. How much cooler would it have been? How much more respect would you have given him if he did the slave master character?
True. I mean, that was the DiCaprio move in Django.
Oh, but DiCaprio was like a crazy person in the movie. That's the thing.
No, it was a Tarantino movie. It was a Tarantino movie.
Yes, but it was absurd. He was like this weird caricature. It was like, I'm an evil person, but as opposed to like an actual person.
As opposed
like there was no rhyme.
Jamie Foxx, who was wearing like a blue lawn jacket.
Well, look, wait a minute, but that's my thing. For that whole movie, the movie was fine. Again, it's a fine movie. My issue with this is if you're going to have a movie, you're going to take the opportunity. We have like one of the cool things, like you have three. Okay, so there are 3 slave revolts known in the United States, right? South America, there's like hundreds, but in the United States, North America, there are 3 known slave revolts, and these are like
Turner, John Brown. What's the other one?
No, John Brown doesn't count. It was Bessie.
Bessie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then one more, his name I can't remember. And they like Nat Turner was the only one that was actually successful, right? The other 2. They were sort of told before it happened.
Well, right, so describe the successful real quick too, because they all died at the end. So how successful was it?
I'm saying, but Nat Turner was the only one where he actually successfully killed somebody.
Okay, gotcha.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, is that not the success? Yay! Can I get some sound effects on that? And then, but so I'm saying that. I'm saying
the draft pockets
for the history of the Black history, right? We have all these pockets of really rich, really full stories to tell, right? Kevin and I have talked about this before, and like the Tuskegee Airmen, and how like that was like for me that is that's like one of the times in our history. These are like fucking superheroes, and we should have the coolest story to tell, right? And the same thing with this story of like a slave revolt. This should be a real story. You should tell that story. It's the one version of a black story shouldn't be Tarantino's goofy version of it. Right. So it always annoys me that the first time we have this story that's real, you could actually do a real story. You don't have to make this shit up. It happened. But instead it's turning this goofy Western where DiCaprio's like drunk and running around the room, and Jamie Foxx has got these funny guns. And you've got this British or this German man like it doesn't make sense. It's fine. I wish that movie had been about
turned into Spike Lee.
Yeah, but
no, I just say I wish that had been about something else, anything else.
I hear you.
But it just felt.
But he's not the person to do that, though, and that's why.
Of course not. Of course not. So how come he gets to go first? How come he gets to
that's why I wanted to support Nate Parker's film, only because even with the controversy and the stuff that he did that wasn't cool and all other stuff, it's finally us telling these type of stories the way they need to be told.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? That movie doesn't even have to be good. I'm just glad he did it. I'm glad he did it on his terms. But but the thing with Tarantino that annoys me so very much is he's got the clout to do this movie, and it's like, dude, you made a joke of it. Like, it's real. You don't have to do that. And I'm not saying you can't. Of course you can't. But wouldn't it be cool if we had something else on the flip side to be like, oh, well, we got the real one here, which is thoughtful and caring, and then we got this goofy Western version here. And then you're like, all right, cool. But that's what annoys me about this movie. That's why with DiCaprio, I'm like, he's not a slave master. He's this goofy bad guy who just makes a bunch of noises and turns around. He's really intense. And that's cool. He does a good job. He doesn't do a good job, but it's not, to me, that's not like, it doesn't, you lose the grounding of what it's supposed to be. He's not this bad slave master who's done horrible things. He's this guy.
No, there's merit to that. There's absolute merit to that, because you're saying he makes a joke out of slavery.
What? Soundtrack, please, now.
That was actually really good. No, I mean, no, I'm saying, sorry, not that you.
I would have proud too.
We know you don't need my validation, but I'm just saying that there's saying in so much as that that he made a joke out of slavery, and there's way too many times in cinematic history and just cultural history period where we reduce, you know, some of the awful shit that's happened and is still continuing to happen to our community. You know, we make it less than to make other people feel more comfortable. And that's the reason why I really enjoyed Luke Cage.
But I don't think he did that.
This shit is unapologetically black. We're not, you know, tamping down anything, you know, and if you're white and you get it, then more power to you, you know? So I see what you're saying with that.
I don't think he tamped it down to make it more palatable for white people. I think this is him. I think he's got this twisted mind where he's like, I want to talk about slavery. This is a goofy way I'll do it.
He didn't tamp it down, but I'm saying by making a joke of it, it automatically makes it more comfortable for, you know, non-black audiences.
But it's not. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, I think it's not the story that I think it's like skipping over. It's just this weird. Like I wish it wasn't about. I don't even know what it's about. I would never say this is a slave revolt movie.
Right, but again, that's through the lens of Tarantino. When you look at 12 Years, one of the great things about that was that people related, I think, because he started out a free man, which I think, you know, obviously 99.9% of the people watching the movie can relate to being a free person, and then he went into slavery as opposed to, so it's almost like getting a British person to play an American slave, right?
Yeah, full circle.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm trying
to dig up your movie here.
Gee, like that movie was good. There were some holes. There was some weird stuff that happened in the movie, but it was very good. I thought it was. Look, you have to tell these stories with like it was thoughtful, right? It was conscious. It was smart. It was like tasteful, but it was also raw, and you have to have that. And I feel like
at the same time, like you're saying, there needs to be more of these movies made. I know a lot of people get sick of watching slave movies, but if you look at, say, the Holocaust and that experience, Jewish people will never say, stop making Holocaust movies. You get something like Life is Beautiful, which is fun and funny and a great film, and then you get something like Schindler's List. They have sort of a wide spectrum, so you can afford to make one that's ridiculous and one that's crazy and then one that's serious. We have not been afforded to tell these stories ourselves, which is, again, back to Ed's point, big ups to Nate Parker for at least telling this story. Despite his past and all the controversy about him as a person, he took the chance and he put his money and his career on the line to like tell this story about a black man revolting.
This is true. Self-finance as well. And so I'm going to kick out this last round. So this isn't our very first 2-hour podcast. And I'm going definitely off the
Where do I sign this thing?
Totally off the map. And I am going to, oh God, this. I don't, and coming off what we were just talking about, I don't want to make this seem like we're making a joke of this or whatever, but
you can't make it. Look, I'm not saying you can't make a joke of it. I'm saying Tarantino annoys me because he makes a joke of it. He loves black people so much, but he loves to do it in this weird, twisted way of like, I don't know what it is.
All the niggas out of the system.
Yeah, he wants to be down so much that he's accepted, and it's not gonna work.
No, but it's also like it's not. I'm not even offended as much as I was like, you sound like. It makes me think he's an idiot. And he's clearly really
more awesome, by the way, with my podcast host Peter, who is the ultimate Tarantino fan. This is gonna be this nice. Podcast next week is gonna be so.
Wait, but Tarantino is crazy talented, right? He is. He's crazy talented. He's like this mad scientist genius. He's like I'm a fan.
But he's problematic for black audiences.
Yes.
I'm okay by saying that.
If you really care this much, be conscious. That doesn't mean you have to stop telling stories. That doesn't mean you have to not be your voice. But it means don't be a moron.
But Greg, he doesn't have to be conscious.
I know he doesn't have to be conscious.
So that's
the problem. He clearly doesn't care. He's fucking holding his flag high, saying, "Look at me, motherfuckers! I can do what I want. I can stop making every other minute because I'm super talented."
And that's the inherent thing about white privilege is that they have the option. We don't.
Yeah, but then it's weird to me because then it's like. What does Sam Jackson say, right? Sam Jackson will do any movie he's got, and he does them well. But so Sam's just like, whatever.
Sam says, make sure you spell my name right on the check.
Exactly. Make sure I get a cool-ass speech, please.
Make sure you put the L on there so I can cash it immediately.
All right, my bad.
Okay, last round, damn it. And once again, if you're scoring at home because Greg needs validation, hit us up.
I won that round too. Thank you.
@gmail.com. I'll relay all of your great messages to to GNice himself. So yeah, the pickings are slim. I am going off the board with this. I don't care. I enjoyed it, I guess. It's not traditional, and well, yeah, okay, I'm doing it. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm going with the Prince of Egypt. Damn it.
Wow.
These aren't even really black people.
Wait a minute.
It's dealing with Egypt and the Bible, and it's a musical, and it's all these things. But that soundtrack was fire.
Wait a minute. Isn't that a music? Is that a cartoon
film? It's Disney for crying out loud, and
it is a cartoon. It is a cartoon. I've not seen it. What Crayola color?
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to that.
They were brownish. White. They didn't go all, Ridley Scott with it or whatever. But it's brown.
When you were thinking about this, was it like, I'll do the Prince of Egypt or Little Mermaid? Was it a close call at the last second?
Little Mermaid is not.
I'm getting wowed. Greg don't want to come back on this podcast. He's leaving no shots in the chamber.
Right.
What?
No,
okay, I don't think I've seen that movie. I don't really know how to respond to it.
You saw it though, right?
I didn't see it.
No, I don't think I saw that because it's a cartoon.
Well, you got kids now.
You've seen cartoons, Greg. I know this for.
Yes, with superheroes in it. This is not a superhero.
You saw Finding Nemo. That was good.
I did not.
Awesome. Yes, that's like a top 10 of all time. Don't hate.
You saw.
Oh my gosh! You just threw out statements that don't make sense.
You saw Lion King. That was a cartoon.
Okay. Yes, I saw Lion King. I did not see Prince of Egypt.
Damn it. And I'm gonna let it lie.
I'm not sure why I would though. Why is this movie good? Because the soundtrack is good.
No.
These are up.
Least depressing slave movies.
Oh, right.
When it comes to least depressing, it's a very thin barrel.
Exactly.
Okay, I got nothing on that then, because that doesn't make sense.
Good. All right. So Kevin, your last pick, if you have one.
My last pick. I'm going.
Wait. Look to the right, and what does it say up there? No, the left.
Don't hate on my picks. As I'm sure you'll hate on this one.
Just so you know, you looked left. That's opposite.
I know I did purposely because you said to look right. Chocolate Cardinal. Pick, the last pick for me, slave movie, unorthodox, The Matrix.
Oh.
The whole thing was about humanity being slave. There were plenty of black people in Zion who had been freed. If you want to get your coloreds in there. And that's it. Matrix.
That's a good pick. That's a little off the board, but I'm there for it. It is all about kind of mental slavery and everything.
So wait. We're just allowed to pick whatever at this point. Is that what's happening?
You're saying that wasn't? Do you need to defend the fact that it was a slave movie? Glory.
Oh my God! There's a whipping scene. What are you talking about?
But they're working for the government.
The entire humanity has been enslaved, and they're having their brains eaten as they're plugged into these machines. They're being used as food.
I feel like we just went to college.
What do you mean?
Is this like you did like?
That was not like an analytical diagnosis of the movie. It's a simple.
No, it's just something we'd say in college, but that's cool.
Okay. At McAllister, probably.
Oh, GNice, what is your last movie? You're killing.
Well, now hold on. I'm gonna repick it because you guys like went far and deep.
This is supposed to be an entertainment podcast. Damn it! Bring the entertainment.
Right.
No, I'm gonna go with my original pick. Okay, so my original pick is a movie called The Mission.
Huh.
That's De Niro.
Yep.
Gregory Irons? No, sorry, Jeremy Irons?
You're looking this up. That's that movie, yeah.
No, actually, I didn't look it up. That's the only guy I remember from The Mission. I never saw it.
So you never saw that movie's really good.
Tell us about The Mission.
It's 19. I'm looking. It's 1986. It's that old, huh? Yeah. It's.
You're that old.
Huh?
Go ahead.
It's like the church going around, and he's like a slave catcher in South America, and he goes around. He's like a bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of kick ass. It's got these beautiful shots. It's got this beautiful. And he has like a turn, like a change of heart along the way.
Mm-hmm. It's
got this beautiful shots, and it got these great. You guys know it's a soundtrack. The soundtrack's awesome. It's just I remember the other thing. It's gonna sound super cheesy, but I saw it with my father when I was a kid, and I always remember that movie. It's got this great shot of this waterfall. It's on the cover, but it's really, really good.
Who's the slave catcher? Who's the slave catcher, and who's the?
De Niro's the slave catcher, And Jeremy Irons, I want to say I don't remember what his role is. Oh, right. No, yeah, that's right. Because he works for, that's right. So he works for a church that's setting up in South America, and he's like, hates Robert De Niro because he's basically catching people in his community. And he's like a, what's that term? What's the term where you set up a church somewhere?
Oh, he's a missionary.
Yeah, he's a missionary. Thank you. That word, that's a hard word.
Setting up a mission.
He's talking about the mission. That's why it's called. But he basically brings in De Niro under his wing and helps convert him. It's like strangely beautiful, and it's smart, and it talks about humanity and the turn of like someone who just is out for money all of a sudden realizes his mistakes. And it's not like cheesy and sort of like moralistic. It's kind of like a slow burn, and it's really tasteful.
Now,
that qualifies.
Now, would you?
Does it? Thank you.
Would you say you won that round?
Of course. Wait a minute. You picked a cartoon and a college thesis. Yes, I won that round.
Okay. So there are our picks. Finally got through that some way, somehow. Still friends. Imagine that. And we're going to go into basically what pays the bills around here. What is Cinema Draft, the game? This is why some of you are actually listening, believe it or not. And basically, it is the fantasy sports version of the movies. You draft 10 actors who are assigned a $1 value salary. You have a $100K budget to try to draft all 10 actors. No more, no less. You must pick from all 3 release types. Wide, 2,000 screens and up. Limited, between 501 and 1999 screens, and then platform 500 and under screens. You must draft at least 1 actor from each, 10 actors total, stay under budget. Headliners are worth 40% more. For example, with Suicide Squad, if it earns 100 million and you get 1 point per million, then Margot Robbie gets 100 points while Will Smith gets 140. See how that works? 40% bonus, boom, like that. It is free to play. We are in beta. Make sure you check us out at cinemadraft.co, and we are going to segue into one of my favorite segments, which is the shot list. This is when I get to act like I'm smart. And have either of you guys played the game yet? I already know the question, but I'm going to put you on blast. Have any of you guys played the game yet?
I have not played the game.
All right. Will you be playing the game sometime soon, sir?
Yes, I'm signing up.
There you go. Like
play the game.
GNice. We're just gonna skip you. I already know what you're doing.
Here's the thing: I signed up, and then I got to some page that I didn't understand until I stopped.
And actually, we're actually going to be removing that page. Basically, there's well, for the few people who are listening to this, if you just want to go directly to the sign up, go to dev.cinemadraft.co. That is our working site. That's where you can go and sign up directly, and you will be led into the system. Otherwise, you go to cinemadraft.co, which is still a pretty cool landing site. You will see all of our social media. You will have to be signed up for an invite to the beta. You'll fill out a form, and that will give you a confirmation screen, GNice, which will have the link in there for dev.cinemadraft.co. Either way, we'll get you on the site. It'll be fun. You'll have a blast, and you will have a lot of discussion with your friends. Actually, so basically the way this works, you guys, since you guys are new to this and stuff with the whole $1 salary and everything, I'm going to see if you can see this so you can see a little bit of what I'm kind of referencing. It's called, this is what I call the talent pool. It's represented actually graphically on the, well, you know what, actually, I can probably, you know what, let's just do, I forget, I actually have a site now. I don't have to keep going all bootleg and shit, like back to the spreadsheets and shit. I have actually a site, so let's go to the site. I will screen share with you guys, the 10 people who are watching this on YouTube. Appreciate y'all.
We have people watching us right now?
No, it's not live. This is, and especially we'll probably have to cut out that part with the technical difficulties. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. You'll actually see what the site looks like right now. We made it, baby. It is real. It is. Oh, and like my avatar, did a little,
nice.
The birth of a nation for the weekend. All right, so basically, we expanded this week. We have now 5 contests. We went from 3 to 5. I'm giving away money, y'all. It's free to play, but you can win real cash dollars. And you can see $90 up top, $52 on and on. We pay 20 slots. We have a max of 100 people for our main game, which is called the feature presentation. $300 overall in prizes for this tournament. And basically, when you're drafting your call sheet, you're presented with a screen that looks like this. This is actually usually blank. These are my placeholders. I don't really have a real strategy out in place quite yet. But basically, we list about 20 films that are actively out and released right now, and we try to get up to 10 actors from each movie. The ones with the stars right here are what we call headliners. There are 2 per movie, and as mentioned before, their points are worth 40% more. With platform films, you get 1 point per 100,000. Those are the smaller screen films. With limited, which is kind of like the medium range, you get 1 point per 500,000 in box office gross. And for wide release films, you get 1 point per million because they're on 2,000 screens. They should be everywhere. They should be making more money. So first of all, I'm going to look into this week for the shot list. Well, we have 3 parts of the shot list. And the first part is called the A list. And these are actors you will definitely want on your call sheet. And so the first one we're going to on the A list is your boy, Ben Affleck in The Accountant. Priced up at $21,000 this week. It's wide release. He's a must play. You're going to want to do a headliner stack of The Accountant with his co-star, Anna Kendrick, America's girl next door. They're expensive. It's going to cost you roughly 40% of your budget. Will be worth it. I think it's going to probably do 35 million. One of our returning champions, Jay Devlin, shout out to Jay. He is definitely listening to this podcast. He is a savage when it comes to strategy on this game. He was even studying like the weather patterns for South Florida and factoring into who he was picking for his call sheet. Anyways, basically, just don't overthink it. It's going to open wide. It's going to be the #1 movie of the weekend. It's going to cost you, but it'll be worth it. And especially with the 40% headliner bonus. If it comes in at like 30 million, shit, that's like, that's like 45, 50 million, 50 points right there. So definitely do a headliner stack of that, and you might have to figure out some stuff after that. What's another A-list actor you're going to want to draft to your call sheet is probably going to be Kevin Hart. Now, the only reason why I say that, what, Greg? What do you have, GNice? What?
What? I don't know. What? He's fine. He's funny.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm banking on. And he's notoriously undervalued usually as well, because when his movies come out, for whatever reason, usually they tend to come out in late summer. For whatever reason, this one was pushed to October, which isn't even the best of opening months, but it's a release, right? And there's not really much in the comedy genre that's opening this weekend. He kind of has that category to himself. It's been promoted relentlessly.
It's just his stand-up special?
It's a stand-up, but he also built like this kind of weird, like it looks like maybe like a 20-minute, story around it with Halle Berry and Don Cheadle in it. So
she's hot. He's talented.
Yes, and she's still getting it at 50. Absolutely. And so I would, if you want to look at a contrarian play, one that's not going to be highly owned, and that's another part of the game theory to this. As you play more, you'll see what actors and what movies are highly owned. You want to, where you can, find hidden value in movies and actors that aren't going to be owned as highly but still will perform. And I definitely think that Kevin Hart, what now? Price is only $9,000, to be honest.
He really is tiny, huh? 5'4". That's short.
He's super short.
Have you met Kevin Hart, Kevin Garnett?
I have not met him. I saw him on Ellen today. He's short.
Oh. Yeah, no, and he owns it, and he's funny, and he does his thing.
Is Ellen taller than Kevin?
Yes, not even a question.
Did it look like Ellen could kick his ass?
He's pretty buff, and she's slight, so
yeah.
I don't think so. Not that Kevin Hart would hit a woman.
I like that you took the time to think about that answer.
So anyways, after you lock up 40 to 60% of your call sheet, mess around with the accountant, and it's $20,000 salaries, what have you. Kevin Hart would be a nice little cheap play, even at wide release. Second part to the shot list is called co-starring. And these are some values you want to look out for this weekend. And I'm just kind of going vanilla this week. These have been in release for about 2 or 3 weeks. I almost went another way, but each week it just seems to keep performing, and it's freaking Sully. Aaron Eckhart from Sully gets you your little headliner bonus right there, $9,600. It's fairly affordable. It's consistent in a weekend where this thing is going to be decided on the margins because everyone's going to do a headliner stack of The Accountant. Maybe they might try to shoehorn in like a third accountant and then really just go pure stars and scrubs. But yeah, you're just going to want something that's consistent if you want more balanced strategy. And as we saw last week, a balanced strategy is what took it when we had a headliner stack of Deepwater Horizon in its second weekend and a headliner stack with The Girl on the Train. I honestly did not see that strategy coming. It kind of blew me away. So shout out to you, Fredo, going from second to first last weekend. You did your job. It was a good job. So if you wanted to take a balanced attack, take Aaron Eckhart Sully 9600 wide release.
There's
and then
no
also
way. There's no way that's his real name, right? Fredo? There's no way, right? These are
screen names, GNice. Like GNice isn't
Like
your government
GNice.
name.
Wait, what?
Is GNice going to be your Cinema Draft name so people can look for you in the lobby?
I'm not sure I get it. Social Security card says GNice.
Okay. Here, I have a question for you about the game.
Please, yes.
So let's say you have somebody like a Benedict Cumberbatch, or someone who does big movies and small movies. It's the week of Doctor Strange or whatever that movie's called coming out, and then he's also got like an art house thing. If you pick him as would he be listed as a headliner for that one? Let's see, he has a smaller part.
He'd be listed twice. Most likely, knowing him since the start, he'd probably be a headliner in both movies, but he would be two separate people in that talent pool.
Okay, so you couldn't get him and get the money from both films.
No, you could. You would have to get him twice, though.
But you'd have to draft him twice. Yeah, I'm saying my question was, could you draft him once and get the money twice? And you're saying he's listed for each movie.
Exactly. Yeah, he's. I'm trying to think who. Let me see. Is Tom Hanks in here twice? Someone's in here twice. We usually have someone who's in here twice or something, and they're listed as two separate people. It's not a problem. They're usually priced differently, because movies are usually different. But yeah,
it'll be an art house thing, and then versus a big budget movie, right?
Yeah, usually.
I hear snickering on the line. Who is that?
What? I said nothing.
You have something to contribute to class, GNice?
I said nothing. I'm still laughing. He's 5'4".
Wow.
That's
don't get the vertically challenged boycotting my podcast of 12 subscribers, all right? Queen of Katwe, wow. Lupita Nyong'o. She was the difference maker. And, all right, so if you guys weren't following, which I'm sure you weren't, on our first weekend, which is just 2 weekends ago, for the feature presentation, it came down to 0.6 points. 0.6 points separated Jay Devlin and Fredo. And going into after Friday estimates, Fredo was up by a 6 point, and then Jay Devlin was down. And then come weekend estimates, they flip-flopped. And what it came down to Lupita Nyong'o, Queen of Katwe. It was her being a headliner in a limited release, because you're going to have one from all three categories. It's only going to be on about 1,200 screens or so you're going to want to use some Lupita. It's very slim pickings this week. But basically, she was a difference maker, and she may be the difference maker again this weekend. She's affordable, 7,300. You're going to need a limited release. There's only about 2 or 3 films out this weekend that qualify for limited release. So just go with what you know, get you that easy money, and get Lupita. The last part is the cutting room floor, and basically skip these losers. Leave them on the cutting room floor. All American Honey. Now, look, I'm actually very intrigued by this movie, even if Shia LaBeouf is a crazy man. I don't care. I want to see this movie. It's only out on 25 screens to date. I'm not exactly sure what the release pattern is going to be this weekend, but it's not going to be wide. So it's going to be small. It's going to be a platform release, and it's probably going to underperform like it has been. This Riley Keough woman, she is amazing in The Girlfriend Experience. You should binge watch that.
Oh yeah, she's hot.
That TV show. I haven't seen the movie either, but I didn't see it. It's good.
The show is better than the movie, I think, and it's. Have you seen The Girlfriend Experience, GNice?
The show or the movie?
The show.
Oh, I've seen both. Oh, I just said it. I saw
the show. No, yeah, I've seen that. The movie, yeah, I've seen
it.
You said,
but her character's really good. Like, she's really good. She's very talented.
She's an actress. The other lady's not an actress.
Yeah. There you go. And
she's an actress as well. Thank you.
She's very good.
Whoa! We're already explicit. Don't get us X-rated.
Again, we are now back in college.
Boom.
But Riley Keough, she's very solid in The Girlfriend Experience.
Do you know she is?
I watched like 2 nights. I just binged it. It's excellent.
Isn't she Elvis Presley's granddaughter or something?
Oh, word?
I did not know that.
Boom! I break shit to the table.
On the cutting room floor, no less. So yes, basically skip All American Honey if it's on less than 50 screens. Okay, if it's going on less than 50 screens, you can. There's a lot of platform releases out there you can go to, and then also Skip, and this one's going to be, a quote unquote favorite of Jay Devlin, our first week champion, our second week runner up. He bet big on middle school, worst years of my life, and that was the worst pick of his life because it's what kept him 6 points out of the top spot. It's a wide release. It's on almost 3,000 screens, and like maybe 6 million, 7 million people, if that, went to see it. It did not perform like it needed to for Jay Devlin to defend his crown. So skip that movie. It's too wide for its own good, even despite me slashing the salary by about 2,000 or 3,000 this week on each actor. It's way too wide release for its own good. So Kevin and GNice, any movies coming out this weekend you're excited to see, or coming up soon that you're excited to see? Are you guys into The Accountant at all? What's up?
I don't know who's. I don't believe that movie. I don't.
No, it exists. I hear it's coming out on 3,000 screens.
I don't know if it's really a thing. I don't know if it's really a thing. The Accountant. What a terrible title for a movie.
Have you seen the trailers, Kevin?
I've seen the trailers, and he's clearly not an accountant.
The trailers are good though. It looks lit as fuck. You're not into it?
I don't. I'd rather see Jack Reacher.
Oh wow, that hurts my heart because I've got a bet going on with this thing. Like I'm in this group chat of these degenerate gamblers. Hey, shout out to the Headerman. I love y'all. There's like 3 of them in the feature presentation already, and it's only Tuesday. We go live Thursdays at 10 p.m. By the way, theater lock is 6 p.m., which is when we lock in for the weekend of the contest, the amount of theaters and the release types. I've got a bet going on with someone in Headerman that that The Girl on the Train doesn't come within 15 million of The Accountant, because I honestly think The Accountant's going to do 30 to 35 million. It's great. I mean, The Girl on the Train was brilliant. I loved it. It's awesome. It's going to hold pretty well, but it's probably going to do like 15, 17 million after doing like 24, 25 in its opening weekend. And I think, Ben Affleck, he's got a lot of goodwill out there. He's about the only thing that survived that train wreck of Batman versus Superman fairly unscathed. So I think it's going to be his time to shine. The trailers look sick. They've been a huge marketing campaign. I don't know. I'm being optimistic maybe. What do you think, GNice?
I think it's going to make money.
Do you think it's going to make more than, say? So I've got an over-under bet right now because we do these over-unders, Peter and I, which basically gets us to decide who goes first in the draft the following week. And so I'm putting it at 25 million this weekend, The Accountant.
Ooh.
He's taking the under. I'm taking the over. What do you guys think?
I'd go over on that. I think less than 30, but more than 25.
Yeah, I definitely go over.
Interesting. Do you think it'll go over 30, GNice?
Yeah, well, there's nothing. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm feeling good. Jay Devlin, if you're listening at home, which I know you will be, you said that everything.
I mean, what's the competition? The Girl on the Train?
So, all right. So our new Girl on the Train, that did like I think 28 million last weekend. It opened really strong. It got my money. I enjoyed it.
Well, wait a minute. Now, how would you compare that to a Gone Girl? Like as far as quality of a movie there.
That's a good fucking movie.
It's man, it's kind of hard to compare only because there's the movie was based on was so new that people didn't really people brought a lot more expectation to it whereas this book just got released last year per se. I think I guess they're both fairly recent, but either way, I think it's quite honestly they're neck and neck. I would say Gone Girl's probably better. Only because it's got Fincher, to be honest. But aside
Fincher
from that,
this you don't understand. And what he just did was set you up so that he could talk about how much he likes Fincher.
Not at all.
I'm here for that. That's cool. Yeah. So Girl on the Train made 24.5 million last week. So even if it holds like 70%, which they almost never do, even if it drops by like 25, 30%, it's still going to be in the 15 to 17 million range. So
see, the Girl on the Train makes me think it's the sequel to The Dragon Girl.
The girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah, someone asked me about that too. Like, is that like a sequel to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? I was like, no, it's not. Was it by the director of The Girl with the Dragon? No.
Yes, but it's got the same feel. It looks like it could be, and that would confuse me.
Oh, it's hella moody, and she is sloshed the entire movie. It is a sight to see. I mean, like having vodka in a clear sippy cup. just getting it in, like. So it's a really good movie. It's going to hold well. I just think that Ben Affleck is going to do work. It's going to be. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if it's got really good word of mouth. It hits like 40, 41 million over the weekend. It's just. Whoa. I think people are ready for something like this. I really do. And I've got money on it. I mean, I can't win money at my own game. Obviously, I do want to win. I will play to win, like you all should. But I do have a side bet on some over-unders on this weekend's box office, and that's part of the fun of the Cinema Draft game. We help keep that interest in the box office alive and get people talking about it. And so that's pretty much it for this podcast, the mega cast, the Eternacast. I want to thank my guests, GNice and his avatar, and Kevin Garnett, aka Working Black Writer in Hollywood, TM.
Let me just also say before we go.
Yeah, pitch what you guys got. Plug what you guys have.
From what I understand, a podcast would not be complete without mentioning Love Jones. Is that
what?
Oh, no. Who correct? That rule up?
Is that correct or no?
Uplifting slave movie? What?
No, I that's my limited understanding of the podcast is that there must be.
What podcast?
Wait, this is awesome. Kevin just wrote in a rule. I love it.
No, what's your Boomerang? I'm sorry, Boomerang.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you know what? Now that actually sounds more.
There it is. I was confused. I misspoke.
Right, absolutely. Well,
I feel like
we met in person at GNice's birthday party, and I probably talked your ear off about Cinema Draft and movies. And
I actually listened to one of the podcasts, and there was a mention of Boomerang. So
I'm actually surprised you don't have people saying what their top 5 is, like when you introduce them. I feel like that's a thing.
No, every podcast has its own thing. Let Denzel Washington's greatest podcast of all time, period, do their own thing. We're doing our thing over here. Although, no shade, love y'all, want to be a guest sometime when we blow up, and please, by all means, Kevin Avery, W. Kamau, come through. But no, I admire what they do. But no, we do the draft. It's fine. We do 5. Normally, Peter and I do 5.
Wait, I don't know what you're talking about. Somebody tells you their stuff. Is that somebody else who does that?
You need more podcasts in your life, GNice.
Do I really? I'm not sure.
But now you can subscribe to this one. We are on iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, and anywhere you get your favorite podcasting outlets. And I'll just wrap this up because this is the Eternacast. We need to bring in for landing. Where can you find Cinema Draft? We are at cinemadraft.co, cinemadraft.co. You can sign up for an invite to the free beta. Also, you can find us on social media. We everywhere. Twitter at Play Cinema Draft, Facebook Cinema Draft, Instagram at Cinema Draft, Medium /@ Cinema Draft. We even got a Pinterest account, god dang it. So, which is also Cinema Draft. So, holler at us, get back at us if you want to email us and tell us what you thought of this podcast. Give Greg validation for his picks in the round. You just email us at podcast.cinemadraft@.
I just looked this up. Of all the movies we talked about, only Gladiator is on Netflix.
Oh. Nope, wrong one. There we go.
The Matrix is on FX like every weekend. Boom.
You can't miss it. And I'm sure 12 Years a Slave will be in every high school from here until the eternity. So anyways, I want to thank you all for staying with us for our most entertaining podcast ever. Let's give Kevin and GNice a hand again. Thanks for coming. You guys are welcome anytime. Anytime. You guys have been great. And that's it, everybody. See you guys next time.
Hey.